thing you want to know about your LinkedIn profile first is the photograph. Okay, so again, I have a nice clear photograph. People can see that it's really me, that I'm here. It's framed at that kind of shoulder area. It's reasonably well lit. It's not the. It's quite honestly has some room for improvement in the photograph, but we're working on it. So you want to make sure that you're in this area here, this subhead area. Okay. You have a lot of flexibility on how you, in what you enter here. Okay. So I've used these dividers with a space on either side to allow for a stark visual break between the terms that I'm using. And I'm using what I'm hoping are going to be recognized keywords. Okay, so, and at various times, because people could actually search for storyteller in the search bar and should be able to find me and every other storyteller, every other person who's got storyteller. But the idea here is that you can use that to distinguish, separate yourself. Don't just use the standard job descriptors, okay? Use something that's a little bit more descriptive of what you do. So for instance, many people will use a phrase here that says, that they're currently seeking employment. That's great, except currently seeking employment in what, right? And don't just say currently seeking employment as an engineer. What kind of engineer? What kind of company? And you might want to place those dividers in as a stylistic move to just to separate the different aspects of your personality. Okay, it allows you to allow your profile to do a little bit of double duty. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is right here underneath the picture where you'll see my LinkedIn URL. Okay, that's my the way you connect to me through LinkedIn. Okay. You want to customize this, okay? If you go into the edit profile options, when you first create your profile, it will be a random set of characters that is the file extension. So where it says Mike S.J. Webster here, it'll be some random group of alphanumeric characters. You want to customize that. The search engines, in particular Google, like actual words as opposed to those random characters. It's also easier for me to share this with my connections, right? I can go and I can say, like, this is a lot easier than something that has, 64 random characters at the end. So make sure you customize that. In the contact info here, you want to make sure that you have whatever other profiles you want to keep track of. And one of the things you'll notice here is that it says Michael Webster up here, but in my LinkedIn URL, it says Mike S.J. Webster. And the reason for that is that matches my Twitter URL. I'm trying to make sure that if anybody goes to Google and types Mike S.J. Webster, they find either my Twitter profile or my LinkedIn page. That's what I'm trying to control for there. Okay? Now here, then there's a number of different sections. So you'll have a background area and you'll have a number of predefined sections. You can also change the names of those sections. So for instance, here it says experience, but if you want to change it to something else like interests or whatever, you can do that. You can also change the order, the editing system in LinkedIn allows you to shift the order in which things appear. So you can move, if you want to highlight certain activities, you can move them up. If you decide, like as a student, it might be a good idea for you to, for instance, highlight things like publications, conference participation, that kind of thing. But when you move into the private sector, if that's your plan, is to move into the private sector, you may elect to highlight your work experience or your interests or your hobbies or your club participation. Like there might be something else that you want to bring to the forefront. So you might just, instead of editing everything, you might just want to shift the order in which stuff appears. The automated search engines that recruiters use will search through all of it anyway. They don't care. So it's only when actual human beings go to look at your profile that the order of things might come into play.